Welcome to Agent Business in the 21st Century. I'm Sam Baker. I'm the CEO of SRX Property and Street Sign. So as you can see, the way I'm dressed, this is a roll-up the sleeve session. It's a working session. You all are entrepreneurs, and I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today is about business. Entrepreneurs join real estate because they have a passion for property, to make money, and because we enjoy being our own bosses. The good news about being a real estate entrepreneur is that you can make good money in property. According to investment bank Morgan Stanley, property prices in Singapore are expected to double by 2030, which is only about 12 years away. This is a great return and certainly surpasses most asset classes in performance. Living in Singapore, we know the attractiveness of buying property here. As Singaporeans, we can get in at a good price because government cooling measures have suppressed housing values. For overseas investors, Singapore is a great place to buy and sell property. It has the best property laws in Asia, and it has a sound currency. Okay, now the reality is there's a lot of competition in the market, and the other reality is that most of the competition is not making much money. Indeed, about 87% of active, that's active, not registered agents, are making less than $100,000 in annual revenue, and that's before expenses. I don't think any of us got into real estate to make less than $100,000. If you apply the business model and technology that we are about to show you, you should make more than $200,000 in revenue. If you deploy SRX Property's 5+5 success formula and you aren't making more than $200,000 in annual revenue, write me. I want to hear about it, and I'll personally take a look at your business and offer you suggestions. If you're currently making more than $200,000, if you can't double your revenue with 5+5, I also want to hear about it. Our technology and information can help you get there, but not unless you commit to following 5+5, rolling up your sleeves, and putting in the hard work to get there. If client equals revenue, it's obvious that what we need to do is we need to deliver for the client. There are only 4 things that every client needs in real estate. Every client needs the right property. No family buys an HDB for $500,000 if they don't like the HDB. No one buys a $2 million private condo if it isn't the right property. No one buys a $10 million landed property if it's the wrong property, unless they're trying to launder money. And we certainly don't want to represent that buyer because we know money laundering will land you in jail for at least 7 years and cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, in fines. Every party to a property transaction requires the right price. We know this to be the case because a seller wants a high price and a buyer wants a low price. They both can't have what they want, so there must be the right price. The right price is the price in which a willing buyer agrees to purchase a home for the same price as a willing seller. Here's an opportunity for you to lead and manage the negotiation, just like an investment banker manages the negotiation to buy a company, and a negotiator negotiates a foreign treaty on behalf of the Prime Minister. And here's a secret. No one trusts the price set by the seller and the seller agent. That's why you must use an objective full valuation to start the negotiation. It's a price that buyer, seller, and agent can all agree on. Right loan. Every buyer needs a loan. Even rich people borrow to pay for property. They'd be crazy not to. Interest rates are below inflation, so essentially the bank is paying people to borrow. Here's another secret. Bankers are not very good at client service. We know that because we have all stood in long queues in bank branches. Here's an opportunity for you to guide your client through the mortgage process and secure a loan. In return, you earn a mortgage admin fee, a buyer commission, and position yourself to earn a seller commission and a referral. And this brings us to the 4th need of the client, the right agent. Computers are replacing door openers and paper shufflers. A computer can process a loan application, conveyancing, and closing. Indeed, there is a government program called MyInfo that will allow a person to use his or her SingPass to compile all the documents necessary for a loan application, conveyancing, and closing. A computer cannot find the right property for a family. A computer cannot market and sell the right property to the right buyer. A computer cannot use a valuation to manage the seller's expectations or use that valuation to negotiate a property deal between a willing buyer and a willing seller. A computer cannot put clients in a pre-approved loan
or minimize their mortgage payments with the best loan package available. A computer cannot do the job of a professional real estate advisor, marketer, financer, and negotiator.
What I want to do is kind of a lead-in to how technology and information can help you is to cover the agent business model.
As business owners, we don't earn salaries. We earn revenue and income. Revenue minus expenses is called a profit loss statement. Our job as an entrepreneur is to maximize our revenue, minimize our expenses, and maximize our income. Client equals revenue. This is the basis of the agent business model. It's not the basis of the estate agent business model, nor the basis of the traditional listing model. The agency and traditional listing model try to recruit as many agents as possible. Their focus is on quantity, not quality. The agent business model, however, is focused on quality. The objective is to achieve 4 revenue streams from one client by adding value to the property transaction and serving the 4 needs of that client: right property, right price, right loan, and right agent. There are 4 revenue streams you can achieve from each client: a buy commission, a mortgage admin fee, a sell commission, and a referral. Most buyers become sellers, or most sellers become buyers, so you should be able to capture both commissions. Most buyers don't have financing lined up prior to looking for a home, so you can lock them in with a pre-approved loan and then get a referral fee when the loan's taken. Client referrals represent future income. They're the bread and butter of the agent business model. When you do a good job for one client, not only do you earn commissions and admin fees, they refer you to their family, friends, and colleagues. This is future income. If you do a good job for each referral, you get a multiplying effect, which I call the X effect. If you get good at multiplying your client base, you can turn that multiplying effect into an exponential effect. As a business person entrepreneur, your goal is to create the X effect. To create this X effect, we do only 2 things. We transact and we brand. And we brand and we transact. Every time we're showing someone a home, we're branding and we're transacting at the same time. For example, the parents of our Chief Technology Officer, Mr. and Mrs. Lee, were recently looking to buy an HDB. They were looking at one unit that had another potential buyer looking at it at the same time. The Lees overheard the potential buyer ask the seller agent if she could take pictures of the home. The seller agent said to the buyer, "Oh, no need. I can send you a link to srx.com.sg with a V360 virtual tour of this property so you don't have to bother with your camera." The V360 shows every inch of the home. You'll be able to look up the ceilings or down at the floor. Also, I'll show you how to download SRX Property app so you can communicate with me on this property or others. This is an example of an agent who's using technology to brand and transact and lock in clients. Not only is he selling one home, he's using his quality listings to generate new clients who can be both a buyer and a seller. All we do as agents is transact and brand and transact. When we're driving people to home viewings, we are branding our services while helping a person buy a home. When we sell a home, we don't throw that listing away. SRX Property converts it to our track record, so not only did we transact that property, but we can continue to use it for branding purposes.
A technologist, what we do is we design our technology and our information to facilitate the agent business model and help you build your business.
What a portal should do for you. It should differentiate you from the competition. It should expand your marketing reach so it's possible for you to tell others about your services. It reduces the days on the market, it saves time, and it cuts expenses.
So why do we want to reduce our days on the market? Well, let's first talk about what are the days on the market. Ethan, what are the days on the market for HDB?
109 days.
Okay, so it's currently 109 days. And what is it for private condo?
160 days.
Okay. 160 days. Okay, and what is it for landed?
Easily 1 to 2 years.
Okay, so why do we know this? We know this because this is what we report to MAS every month. Okay, we know this also because this is what's important to you all as our clients. So we build our technology to try and reduce our days on the market. So why would we want to reduce our days on the market? Because if you've got an HDB and on average it's taking you 109 days to sell, that means you're not putting money in your pocket. That means your seller hasn't sold that HDB, so then they can move on to their next house. That means the buyer hasn't found the right home, and they cannot then sell their home. So it's not a good deal for anybody except for the listing portal that is carrying that listing.
There are 5 applications to the 5+5 success formula. The first one is my property tracker. I'm an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. As both a businessman and a technologist, everything I do and everything I buy has an objective behind it.
So let's take my property tracker. Before we go into the objectives, has anybody done a flyer before? Yes? Good or bad? Pretty bad, okay? That's true universally, okay? Do you remember how many how many flyers you printed? 5,000. About what response rate did you get? 2. Okay. So let's do our math here. This is very common, by the way. So you're unique, okay? So if we print 5,000 flyers, ST, help me out on this, and we get a response rate of 2. So we print 5,000 flyers. We get a response rate of 2. What does that equal? 0.0004. Okay. Is that percent or that's the number? Okay. So that's our response rate. And typically in marketing, response rate is less than 1%, and that is definitely in your case. It's 0.004%. Okay. So let's say we're Roy here, and Roy has 1,500 people in his My Property database, tracker database. Okay. So he has 1,500 people in his database. So let's say, using the flyer method, our target is to get 1,500 people to respond to our flyer. Okay? So then we take our response rate, divide 1,500 by our response rate, which is 0.0004. ST, help me out on the math. How many flyers do we have to print? 3.75 million. Okay, and now I know because I printed this educational piece, it costs about $1 to print. But let's say you have a good deal. Let's say you know how to print it for 50 cents. Okay, so what's 3.75 million divided by 2 equal? So that means it costs you $1.25 million to print 3.75 million flyers to get 1,500 people in your database. This is why we don't market this way in real estate, okay? Because it's not possible. So how can we accomplish this? What Roy did was get 1,500 people in his database and do it for 0.
So the objective of my property tracker is to market your services, to differentiate you from the competition, to activate clients, to save time and help your marketing go viral, and the cost to you is 0. There are 3 objectives of a quality listing. First, it pre-qualifies buyers. Second, it reduces days on the market. And third, it showcases your services. Definition of a quality listing is one that has V360 and X listing price. But let's take a look at a perfect listing by Javier. If we look at this listing, we can see that Javier is an expert that both buyers and sellers can trust. We can see that he has a V360 that showcases the home. It's where buyers can take a virtual tour and fall in love on the internet with the home. It has a unique selling proposition to beat the competition. You can see that Javier maximizes his ad reach with print classifieds. Yes, print classifieds are old technology, but remember, old people also buy homes. You can see that he has 5 stars to differentiate his property from other properties that might be similar, and that his X listing price is backed by SRX valuations, a price buyer, seller, and agent can all agree on. deal done. And finally, that he has an exclusive relationship with his seller, and that means there's a commitment to each other on both sides. If I'm a buyer and I call Avier, he can be sure that I am a serious buyer because I've taken a tour via V360 and I know approximately the price of the home. So he can be 90% confident that all he has to do is close me to successfully sell me the home. If I'm a seller, I know exactly what Avier will give me in terms of advice, marketing, and pricing.
This is my pledge to you. If you do not meet the DOM market with SRX quality listings, I personally will conduct a marketing audit on your listing. And if that doesn't find the right buyer, I'll provide you extra marketing power free of charge using our networks. Obviously, we're a subsidiary of SPH, as well as we have a huge social networking, including a e-newsletter of 300,000 subscribers. Plus, we have our XTV, et cetera.
The objectives of Mortgage Connect include to help your client get a great pre-approved loan and then process their loan at a great interest rate. It locks in clients so that you can convert buyers to sellers and sellers to buyers. The cost to you is zero, and indeed, it generates revenue for you. The objectives of Agency V is to help you win more clients, to support referrals, showcase your services, give you a permanent track record, and the cost to you is zero.
Here's our success pledge, okay? If 5 plus 5 does not equal at least $200,000 in annual revenue for you, we, the management team, so here's our chief valuer, Andrew Chi. Linus Lowe, most of you know, is our chief training officer. Me and Jeremy, been talking about his dad and their HTB shopping, okay? We will conduct a comprehensive business audit free of charge and offer solutions for improving your revenue, cutting your costs, and increasing your income, okay? I don't think that any other business that I know of does this for their clients. Certainly not any of the other listing portals in this marketplace. My bank doesn't do this for us. Doesn't say, oh, we'll help you with your business plan. My insurance company doesn't do it. So that's a pretty good deal.